Hello, Seawolves, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Stony Brook Media Group. I'm Imra Ahmed.
And I'm Trinity Miller. This past Wednesday, the New York Yankees and Mets paid tribute to 9/11 heroes by wearing hats featuring the FDNY and NYPD logos. September 11th remains a deeply emotional day in New York, marking 23 years since the attacks that claimed 2,977 lives and reshaped the city's cultural fabric. In the wake of the tragedy, New York sports teams, starting with the Mets, provided a sense of hope and normalcy, symbolizing resilience and unity. In 2024, the heartfelt gesture by the Yankees and Mets once again highlighted the city's strength and enduring spirit, showcasing its unbreakable solidarity in the face of adversity.
Edward Akaban, the New York City's police commissioner, has officially resigned this Thursday after federal agents seized his phones as a part of a criminal investigation. His resignation followed pressure from City Hall, citing the ongoing investigations as a distraction. This marks the second police commissioner resignation under Mayor Eric Adams, whose administration is facing multiple federal inquiries, including potential corruption linked to foreign donations. Caban's departure underscores the growing turmoil within the NYPD and the Adams administration. Interim Commissioner Thomas G. Donlan, a former FBI official, has been appointed to restore order and focus on the integrity within the department. Commissioner Caban released a statement saying that the NYPD deserves someone who can solely focus on protecting and serving New York City, which is why he decided to resign. Now let's turn to Aisha Diamande with the international news.
The death toll from Typhoon Yagi and its aftermath in Vietnam has risen to 226, with over 100 people still missing and more than 800 injured. The powerful storm, which hit the northeastern coast on Saturday, has triggered severe flooding and landslides. While Hanoi is seeing some relief as floodwaters recede in Tai Nguyen, residents are dealing with extensive damage and repair needs. While a search is ongoing in Lao Cai for 55 people missing after a flash flood, international aid is being mobilized as Vietnam faces significant challenges in recovery and relief efforts. The man accused of fatally killing Ugandan Olympic marathon runner Rebecca Cheptegei has died from burns sustained during the incident. Dixon Nadema, who allegedly set Cheptegei on fire during a dispute over land, succumbed to his injuries as Moi Teaching Hospital in Kenya. Cheptegei, who suffered burns covering over 80% of her body, died on September 5th from multiple organ failure. The attack occurred on August 31st as Cheptegei returned from church. Nadema's death from respiratory failure and sepsis has not stopped the ongoing police investigation into the tragic events. Cheptegei's funeral is scheduled for September 14 in Uganda, where she will be honored with military customs. In a tragic escalation, Israeli airstrikes have targeted the Al Junai school in Nusrat refugee camp for the fifth time since October, killing at least 18 people, including 6 UN staff members. The attack has left a scene of devastation with significant casualties among displaced Palestinians. Witnesses describe horrific damage and chaos as emergency workers scramble through rubble to assist survivors. The Israeli military claims the strike targeted a Hamas facility, but the incident underscores ongoing international calls for accountability and a cessation of attacks on humanitarian sites in Gaza. Australia is set to introduce a minimum age limit for social media use, likely between 14 and 16, in efforts to address concerns about the mental and physical health impacts on young people. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced the plan, aiming to encourage outdoor activities over online engagement. However, digital rights advocates warned the restriction could drive teens to unregulated and potentially dangerous online spaces. Critics argue that the move may push young users to use less safe platforms and hinder access to vital support resources. The government is preparing for a trial phase later this year to refine the age restriction policy.
You know, Imra, I'm kind of hungry. What did you have for dinner last night?
Well, definitely not cats and dogs.
Well, speaking of, let's now turn to Adrian Esposito with political news.
Thanks, Trinity. Besides the debate, there were multiple stories happening in the news this week. One of them is the count and certification of the electoral votes of the presidential election will now experience increased security for the first time ever next year, according to the Department of Homeland Security. This new level of security is now considered as a national special security event, similar to events like the State of the Union address and the Super Bowl. Now the city will be able to use federal, state, and local resources in its security plan. Moreover, a committee will be formed in the coming weeks to discuss further security measures for next year's affirmation of the electoral votes. The new designation also comes about in hopes to prevent another assault on the Capitol, and after former President Donald Trump's continuous assertion that he did not lose the 2020 election. A state judge in North Dakota overturned the state's near-total abortion ban this week, saying that the state's constitution protected a woman's right to abortion until the fetus was viable to live outside the womb. Judge Bruce Romanek said the ban violated numerous constitutional rights, including the right to pursue and obtain safety and happiness, and that the law was too vague to fairly interpret it. Attorney General Drew H. Wrigley said he planned to appeal the decision, although now this means that abortion will soon become legal in North Dakota. There still lacks an abortion clinic present in the state. Red River Clinic, which filed the lawsuit against North Dakota while it was still there, has since moved to a different location. Red River Clinic Director Tammy Kromanacker said the decision gave them hope and that it was a good day for North Dakota's pregnant people.
And now we have Maya Duclay with some important updates from the health world.
Thanks, Imra. September marks National Suicide Prevention Month, a time to raise awareness about this critical public health issue. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline reports that calls to its 988 crisis line have increased significantly this year. This highlights the ongoing need for accessible mental health services. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline also reminds people that support is available 24/7 for anyone experiencing suicidal thoughts or who are concerned about a loved one. Information is on their website at 988lifeline.org. A rule mandating that mammography results summaries include breast density notifications was set into effect on Tuesday by the Food and Drug Administration. Dense breast tissue increases the risk of breast cancer and makes it less detectable. Mammography centers are now obligated to notify the patient and referring physician of the patient's results. Patients who have dense breast tissues should talk to their healthcare provider for further testing. This Thursday, New York Governor Kathy Hochul has been diagnosed with one of the most common forms of skin cancer, basal cell carcinoma. The governor says that her doctor found the cancer on her nose during a routine checkup and described it as, quote, a tiny speck on my nose. Basal cell carcinoma is highly curable, especially if found early. In response to the situation, Hochul urged the public to try to get regular medical checkups.
Thank you, Maya. And now for the exciting world of entertainment news with Miles Reese and Anjali Sinha.
Welcome to the Media Minute, where you get the latest news in entertainment and pop culture. I'm Anjali Sinha.
And I'm Miles Reese. We have a lot to share with you today, starting off with one of the biggest nights in entertainment, which was this past Wednesday at the UBS Arena in Elmont, New York.
The VMAs, hosted by Megan Thee Stallion, was a show you wouldn't want to miss. Stars from all genres took home awards for the night, including Chappell Roan for Best New Artist and Stray Kids for Best K-pop.
There were also live performances by Eminem, Katy Perry, Lenny Kravitz, and Camila Cabello, which really topped off the night.
I really liked their performances. What was your best part about the show?
I definitely have to say Lenny Kravitz.
Last week, the nostalgic early 2000s band Linkin Park reunited and announced Emily Armstrong as the band's new lead singer. Armstrong is also the co-founder and lead singer for the alternative rock band Dead Sarah.
Armstrong was introduced to fans during a live stream event performance from the Warner Brothers Burbank, California studio. At the event, Linkin Park announced the release of their new song, The Emptiness Machine, which is set to come out on November 15th.
On Wednesday, the new metal band embarked on their From Zero World Tour. This is the band's first tour since the death of the original lead singer Chester Bennington in 2017, and the fans of the band are excited to see what this new era will bring.
In sadder news, well-known actor and Hollywood star James Earl Jones sadly passed away on Monday, September 9th at the age of 93. The EGOT status star, known for his distinct voice, appeared in many popular films such as Coming to America and Field of Dreams.
He was also a renowned voice actor and known for roles such as Darth Vader in Star Wars and Mufasa in The Lion King. Following his death, several stars such as Mark Hamill, George Lucas, and Denzel Washington have publicly shared the condolences and the tremendous impact James Earl Jones had on their careers.
He's such an amazing trailblazer in the acting world.
I agree, he will be missed. Let's go to Thomas Pardo for the latest in sports.
Wide receiver Stephon Diggs made his Houston Texans debut on Sunday in a 29-27 victory, catching 2 touchdown passes. The 30-year-old receiver was acquired in a trade from the Buffalo Bills in April. On Sunday afternoon, the New York Giants began their 100th anniversary season in a game at MetLife Stadium against the Minnesota Vikings. Big Blue fell in their opener by a score of 28-6. Quarterback Daniel Jones struggled in his first game of the season, throwing 2 interceptions. Their rival, the New York Jets, were also defeated in their season opener. On Monday night, Gang Green went head-to-head against the San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium, losing 32-19 in quarterback Aaron Rodgers' first regular season game since he tore his Achilles just 4 plays into last season. The veteran quarterback performed well, throwing for 1 touchdown pass. The final round of the U.S. Open tennis tournament in Queens, New York concluded this past weekend, and was the first time since 2002 that both the men's and women's finals featured an American player. In the women's final on Saturday, Belarusian Arina Sabalenka triumphed over American Jessica Pegula in a hard-fought final round. In the men's final on Sunday, Italian Yannick Sinner had a dominant performance against American Taylor Fritz. The loss by Fritz extends a 21-year drought for an American men's U.S. Open champion. Andy Roddick was the last to do so when he won the 2003 final.
So guys, what are your plans for this weekend?
Yes, my plans for this weekend are, unfortunately I'm working tomorrow, but that'll be okay. And then I have a history paper draft to write, which is due Monday, so that's fun.
Oh man. And what about you? What are your plans?
Just homework and sleep.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think I have a few concepts of plans, so we'll figure that out soon enough. And that's all from Stony Brook Media Group. See you next week.